Hello. Somebody suggested, I think last week, that I should talk a little bit about the store because not everybody has had the opportunity to come in. So, Madajan's Herbals is on Hewitt Avenue in downtown Everett and has been there for almost 8 years. We sell herbs and essential oils and soap making supplies, um, tea, and magic. We have readers that come in when we don't have viruses lurking about. In the meantime, I am doing all of the readings out of the shop, and it's a fun place to be. One of these days, we'll do one of these lives from the shop so that you can see what it looks like. Tonight we are going to make jelly from juice that I bought at the dollar store. So I want to show you a couple of things before we actually start. I got two juices. I got this one, which is cranberry grape, and this one, which is actually pomegranate, blueberry, and acai. It's called Healthy Balance. It only has 1 gram of sugar. This one has a lot more sugar than that. This one is 30 grams of sugar. So when you go to the store to get your pectin, and this is what actually is what makes the jelly set and makes it thick, there are two different kinds that you can get. There is one for reduced sugar and one for regular sugar. Now what I did was, because the cranberry grape has so much sugar in it, I used the reduced sugar. That cranberry grape is already made and getting ready on the other side of the camera to be put into jars because it would take too long to do a live without cutting it in half. So I used the reduced sugar for the cranberry grape, and I'm going to use the regular sugar for the Healthy Balance. These will last about a year, and so when I went to the store over the weekend to get the pectin, I will tell you that there was plenty of pectin. There was not anybody, there was no problem with, like the yeast thing. So just know that that it's out there. So what we're going to do is we are going to take, now with this pectin comes directions. So it tells you how to make jam, it tells you how to make jelly, it tells you how to make freezer jam and jelly or cooked jam and jelly. Pretty much everything you need to know is on this piece of paper that comes inside the box. It is really not very expensive to do this. The juices each cost $1. I believe that the pectin was $2, and then the cost of the sugar. Now, if you use the reduced sugar, we used 3.5 cups of sugar. Excuse me. Now, with the regular sugar for the Healthy Balance, it is, we're using 7 cups of sugar, so that's quite a bit more. So what we're going to do is we are going to take 5 cups of the juice and put it in the pan. And we're going to take 1.5 cups of water and put it in the pan. And then what we're going to do is cover it, put it on high, and we are going to bring it to a rolling boil. Now, a rolling boil means that even when you stir it, it doesn't stop boiling. So as soon as we do that, then we're going to put the pectin in. And when it comes back up to a rolling boil again, then we're going to put the sugar in. The difference between jelly and jam, in the event that you don't know what it is, jelly is made from the juice of the fruit, and jam is made from the fruit itself. So jam, you get bits and pieces of the fruit, whereas jelly, it's almost like Jell-O, but with a lot more sugar in it. So that's what we've got going there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera around and show you the jelly that has already cooked and is sitting over on the other table. So we're going to turn it around. There we go. Now the jelly is here. What we've done is, and I'm at the back of the phone now, so I can't see. We went ahead and sterilized all the jars. You do that by putting it in your water bath canner and letting it boil for 10 minutes. If you have a dishwasher, you can put them through the dishwasher and just leave them there until you're ready to use it, and that will sterilize them as well. Now, cool little gadgets. This is a funnel, and so it helps you not make a mess around the end of the jar. So we're going to go ahead and ladle the jelly in. Now, in the event you haven't noticed, there's a towel on top of this butcher block, and that is because the heat of the jelly or any canned item is going to put rings on whatever you put it on, and so I put the towel down so I don't end up with a ring. Now, another very cool little gadget, now let me reach in here, is this magnet on a stick. It looks like that. Now what that does is it takes the lids out of boiling water so that you can put them on without burning your fingers, which I actually did a little bit ago. So now because I used the funnel, I didn't get any jelly around the edge, and so I don't need to wipe it down. When you put your rings on, you don't tighten them as tight as they can go. You just do it enough that they're not going to fall off. And it is, and then when you pull them out of the water bath, then you're going to go ahead and tighten it a little bit more. So that's how you put the jelly in the in here. So this jelly, if you look at it, I mean, these are half pint jars. They're jelly jars, and I will tell you that I never actually made jelly jar jelly. I always, because I had so many kids, I always would use pints. But with it just being me, I don't eat a lot of jelly. And so these will probably be gifted to some different folks. So I decided to go ahead and use the jelly jar instead. You're going to put it to about a half an inch at the from the top. That's how full you fill them. It is now. When I was a little girl, my mom sealed them differently. One of the ways that she would do it is she would take paraffin wax and seal it with paraffin wax. Now, so in order to make it a little bit easier, she would take a piece of string and she would lay the string across the top of the jam and over the sides so that the string hung this way. And then she would pour an inch of paraffin on top, and as soon as the paraffin hardened, she would take a little scrap of fabric and put it over the top of the wax, because wax does absorb dust. And then when we were ready to have the jam or jelly, she would just lift the paraffin off, and she would go ahead and use that as the cap that she'd keep it in the refrigerator with. The other way that she would do it, and I can't do it with this one because this jelly actually has been sitting for a little bit of time, so that we could make the jelly here with the other one as well. But if it's boiling, what you can do is go ahead and put the lid on it just like this, but put the lid on a little bit tighter, and then turn it upside down. And the heat of the jelly will seal the ring on the lid. And it is, so if you don't have a big stock pot to do, to do your water back in, that's another way that you can do it. I do believe that the canning people right now are suggesting that that's not a good way to do it. And it probably won't last as long well, that one's the one we're going to use to first, because I filled it too full. Okay, so we're going to get the lids on. So this is very easy to do. It is, and I don't have enough sterilized jars. So we're going to go ahead and fill the ones that we've got, and then I'll go ahead and sterilize more a little bit later. It is, I'm just having a heck of a time with that one. Now, we are still not boiling on the stove just yet. So what we're going to do is put these in the water bath. Oops. And so you've seen the last half, and then we'll finish the first half. So I am going to go ahead and turn the camera around again. There we go. And we are right now at boiling. So what we're going to do is take the pectin, and this is what the pectin looks like. It's just a very fine powder. So we are going to pour the pectin in. And stir it up. Then we're going to bring it back to a rolling boil. And then we're going to lower the temperature and let it simmer for 10 minutes. Now the one, as you saw, the other jelly that I made it in a big stock pot. And I will tell you that because I made it in the big stock pot, it actually took a whole lot longer because it took it longer to boil because there was so much air in the pot. So it's a better idea to go ahead and use like your Dutch oven, so that it doesn't take you anywhere near as long. Okay, so we're back to the rolling boil. So we're going to put it down to a medium heat. I'm going to put the lid on, and then we're going to set the timer for 10 minutes. Now, this is a water bath canner. When you do your water baths, or when you do your, if you're going to sterilize your jars in here, the jars have to be covered by 2 inches of water. So all the way to the top plus 2 inches. Now the thing with the water bath is we've got a real nice canning rack right here. Now the problem with this canning rack is it is made for pints and quarts. And so the half pints are too small. And so what I've done is I've put a towel in the bottom, and that helps the jars stay upright. So I'm going to take the jars of jelly, and I'm going to put them here in, sitting on the towel. And then we're going to put it inside and put the lid back on and turn it on high. And then we're going to bring it to a boil, and we're going to boil it for 5 minutes for jelly, 10 minutes for jam. And then you're going to take them out and put them again in the on your towel so that they cool, and you'll hear several pops as they seal. It is it's kind of a fun thing. So I did something really fun today. I went out and got my new baby chicks. So I have 2 different kinds. One is called a Novagen, which is an amber colored chicken, and the other variety that I got was a dominant copper, which is interesting because it's actually a black chicken. Now these chickens have very dark eggs that range from dark brown to like chocolate, and it is, so I'm looking forward to it. They'll start laying eggs when they're between 8 and 12 weeks old, and then will lay eggs for several years. So we'll be talking about that another day. But if you, somebody here said, I hear your baby chicks. So it is, that's what you're hearing. Right now they're in my living room, and they'll be there for 2 weeks, and then I'll take them and put them out in the coop. But that will give us a little bit warmer weather, and I'll go ahead and do that. So the next class is not going to be on live. On Wednesday at 6:30, so 30 minutes earlier than normal, I'm doing a presentation on Zoom for Kevin Walder and the Oracle's Scroll. It is, the topic is natural solutions, natural solutions for challenging times. So we're going to be talking about different herbs that help with anxiety and depression. We'll be talking about how to make the most of what you have in the event food gets even more scarce. I was at Cash and Carry today, and they had very little meat there. I was also the other day at, oh, I guess that was today. I was also at Winco, and they did have yeast. So if you're still looking for yeast, Winco in Marysville has it. If I don't know. I mean, if you have some ideas of what you'd like to have addressed during these lives, I would love to see them. It is because we could actually even have guest speakers. If somebody has a skill that they would like to share, we can go ahead and figure out how to do this with a guest speaker. I'm open to pretty much, anything that that you might like to learn, and because I always like to learn as well. It is, we still have 5 minutes for this to continue cooking before we add the sugar. What we're going to do is we're going to add the sugar all at once and bring it back to a rolling boil, and then we are going to boil it for 1 minute, and then we'll once again put it in the jars and get it ready for the water bath. It's going to take a while for this water bath to go because it's on a smaller burner, because I wanted to get this one faster. So so you won't see me do that, putting it in the water bath. That's why we did it the way that I had the one already going. So, if you have any questions, feel free to, I can actually see the phone this time, and so if you want to ask questions on this feed, I can read them and answer them. It is, also the shop is open from noon until 5 on Tuesday through Saturday, so if you have a need for something, you can come in. We're limiting it to 5 people in the shop. I'm also doing curbside delivery, and I'm happy to ship to you. So if there's anything that you need, let me know, because I'm there. It is, I am missing all of you folks that aren't coming in. I certainly understand you not coming in, but I miss you. You are very much part of my life, and not seeing you is hurting a little bit. So hopefully we'll get back into a healthier place, and things will start getting a little bit better soon, because that would be good. It is a whole lot easier to talk when somebody is is responding rather than just to the phone here. The potatoes. So some updates. The potatoes are doing well. I'm beginning to see little sprouts, and so as soon as they get to be 3 to 5 inches, then I'll put no more dirt on it. I did get my first bed planted with the help of one of my granddaughters over the weekend, and we planted the 3 sisters. We planted corn, pole beans, and squash. We planted tomatoes, and then in another container I planted lettuce and green onions. So I am getting ready to get the next bed ready for planting. I will tell you that this morning I was a little bit stiff, so I didn't go out and do any of that yesterday or today. I did let my sourdough starter die because I can't bake enough. I can't eat enough baked goods to keep it going. But since I did find some yeast, I think I'm going to be doing a little bit of baking. I found a really wonderful recipe with garlic and mozzarella bread. And if you like, let me know, because I will put the recipe down on my page because it is amazing looking. So I'm really excited about trying that out. We are close here now to 10 minutes. So this is 7 cups of sugar, which is amazing that it takes that much sugar. But I wanted to use both of the pectins to see how it was going. So I'm calling it. There it is. There's the 10 minutes. So what we're going to do is pour the sugar in. Now, if you see green things coming out, what I do is I keep my sugar, because I buy it in 25-pound bags. I put them in in 5-gallon buckets, and I put bay leaves in there with them. The bay leaves keep out any little critters that I don't want in them. It works with anything flour-based, anything rice-based, and also sugar. So I don't have problems with that. What I do sometimes have problems with is the bay leaves crumbling and then getting put in whatever I'm making. So we're going to stir this up and melt all of the sugar. And basically, we didn't do it in step order, but now we just made jam. Because this is where we were with the other one. So we actually finished it, and now we've started it and taken it back up. So if you have any questions, okay, what does it say here? Will there be directions on your Facebook on how to connect to Zoom? Yes, there will be. There already is, and it's from the Oracle Scroll. It's on my page as well. I will once again share it tomorrow so that you can see how to connect, and I hope to see you there too. I think I'm real excited about that one. That class, it's going to be a little bit longer. And it is, because it's Zoom, there will be give and take, and so you'll be able to ask me questions, and that's going to be fun. So, here we go with the jam already, or the jelly already made, and I'm going to go ahead and say thank you, and take care of yourself, and stay healthy, and have fun. So, I will talk to you on Wednesday. Bye-bye.